Hey Jim, so here's just a brief video of some outside things for the trailer that you'll want to be knowledgeable about. So first thing is the water softener. You don't have to use a water softener if you don't want to. If you're just going to be, filling up with water and then going camping for the weekend or whatever, it's fine. If you're going to find yourself at a lot of different RV parks where you don't know what the water quality is, then you might want to go ahead and get one of these water softeners. I also run a filter in front of the water softener, as you can see there. That one has a, I believe, 5 micron filter inside of it. You can get them at Lowe's and whatnot. But yeah, I've always ran a water softener with it. And then you can see over on the other side, let's see. Of course, you've got the built-in filter here. And that one, since I have the other one already, I run a 1 micron filter in that one. And I've just kind of logged, when I've back flushed it and whatnot. So, all your hoses come in here. I've got kind of like a custom manifold that I built, but I'll be taking that with me. And then, definitely want to pick up one of these water regulators. I keep this one at about 50 PSI. I also use this little water meter to kind of tell me when I'm getting close to needing to do the water softener again. It's helpful. And so, of course, you've got your accordion hose that, this end here goes ahead and plugs into this one here. And then you've got your hot and cold, so you can use that water outside. You've got your water pump switch here. And then this panel makes it really easy to just kind of match the dials as to what you're doing. So right now we're under city water, so you'll see that all the dials match this one. But then if you're going to go dry camping, which sounds like probably you're going to be doing the majority of the time, you can go ahead and change it to that. And so your water goes in here, and then this is your black tank flush. So I try to flush it every single time I dump the black tank with this, just to keep the buildup down. Of course, your sensors are never going to be accurate on these trailers, but that can kind of help them be more accurate than not if you do that. And so then you've got your black tank flush here, and then you've got your gray tank, not flush, but dump here, and then dump there. Of course, you've got your low point drains for your hot, and then for your cold back there. And this is your ice maker valve. So off is just like that little sticker right there says, straight up and down. And then on is sideways. We don't really ever run the ice maker. And so that's basically what you've got there. So if you wanted to go on water pump, you could obviously, like I've got a water shut off on my hose here, so I'll just do that. And then you would just switch to match that dry camping. So that's going to be just like this, and like that, and like that. And then you turn your water pump on, and then there you go. You're set up for dry camping. And I'll just turn it back to city water here. Turn my water back on down here. Cool. And then of course, you've got your leveling system here. You're gonna hit both arrows at the same time, and then you'll see that green light light up, and that is now in the mode where you can go ahead and raise it and lower it and all that. When you arrive at your campsite and your truck is of course pulled out of the way, you can hit auto level, and it'll go ahead and auto level your coach for you. The only other things going on here, of course, you can Google different ways of arranging these valves when you are sanitizing your system and all that jazz. You can learn more about that. And then, of course, you've got your furnace outside access plate here, water heater outside access here. when water pressure builds up a little bit and gets a little high, sometimes it can come out of this relief valve here. But that's about all you need to be wary of about that. It's a good idea to go ahead and decalcify these water heaters like a couple times a year. It's kind of coming due to do it again. I'm not sure if I'm gonna have a chance to do it before I hand off the trailer to you or not. But basically what I do is I just undo this drain bolt here, which is also your anode rod, and pull that rod out. Of course, it drains the whole water heater, and then I replace it with an old anode rod just to plug the hole. And then I go ahead and draw into this one. I use the water pump and a combination of these valves to go ahead and pull a citric acid solution directly into the water heater, let that sit for about 24 hours and then drain it. It does a really good job. You can always Google that process to see the best way of doing that, but that's what I've found to work really well. That way you don't have to buy a million jugs of vinegar solution. Of course, you've got your power input here. I strongly suggest getting a surge protector that you would plug in at your pedestal or your house, and that's going to protect your coach. I always ran one on this coach, and it's a good precaution. And then on the next video, we'll just pick up inside the basement here and show you a little bit of what's going on there. One more thing to show you as far as the water valves go and whatnot is you're going to have your freshwater drain right here, and so that is going to be tank number 1, and then as you can see, that's going to have water coming out of the tank there. Use that for water tank maintenance, or when you are winterizing your RV. This is the main valve here. This is an accessory that I have. You might want to pick one of these up. It's a Volterra Flush King, and helps you flush not only your black tanks but your gray tanks as well. You connect a garden hose to there, and it's got a gate valve as well. So that's something that I do as a little extra to keep these tanks flushed properly. Although I do recommend having a professional tank cleaner come out and clean your tanks. I think Clean Tank with a K, cleantank.com is a really good company to go with, and they have a lot of different mobile people that can come out and service your unit. I'm definitely going to use them for the new RV. And then of course, you're going to have to buy some sewer hoses too. And I just have a Y connecting both of them because there is a tank in the back here as well. And that valve is right here. So this is going to be your valve for your rear black tank. It's what your laundry connects to if you choose to use washer dryer units back in the garage, as well as that half bath toilet and sink. And then of course here is your second water tank drain, and that is right here. And then that's another way to drain your rearward water tank. Okay, so to access the basement, which is a good thing to do from time to time just to check for leaks and anything weird going on this side, you're going to have a couple screws. You're going to have a screw here, and you're going to have a screw there, just Phillips, and you're going to take those out, and then that board is going to come out. You're also going to have these screws here, this one and this one here, and so then this board is going to come out, and then we'll pick up as soon as I get that done and we'll be able to show you what's going on behind there and what to be wary of. You've also got a board here where you've got a screw here, here, and then also there's a couple screws, you know, behind that. And what is behind this guy is going to be your sub panel. You're going to have a sub panel access in here, and that's going to give you access to your there's 3 circuit breakers that operate on your sub panel. That's going to be for your certain circuits. So I'll also show you what's going on with that. So to take off these screws, you're going to see a lot of the time through this coach is it's going to have kind of a bit like that is required. It's a square bit. I guess they use that a lot in the trailer industry. So I just was going to give you a heads up as to you might want to pick one of those up for a lot of these screws. Okay, so now that we've got this panel off here, you can see that there is some circuit breakers through here. There's actually 3 of them, and what this is, you're going to see on your circuit panel. I'll actually show you right now. You are going to see on your circuit panel here, this is the sub panel at the very bottom, and that is a 20 amp breaker. And what happens is that circuit is going to feed that sub panel that I just showed you, and it's also accessible under this stair. You will see 4 screws on that first stair that is directly above that circuit sub panel, and so that's another way to access this. So that 20 amp breaker, that feeds this guy in here, and so that is going to be your living room circuit, which is going to be the outlet next to the entertainment center down by the floor there, and it's also going to be your master bedroom outlets, and then you're also going to have your fridge circuit on this sub panel, and you're also going to have your GFIs of your entire trailer on this sub panel. So that is where that is. Of course, you've got the vacuum hose here. Your central vac is right there. That's where you change the bags. You can turn this switch on here to manually operate the vacuum, or you can plug in the hose to the port below the stairs, or use a little dustpan and that'll turn it on as well. And so now we'll take this panel off and show you what's going on behind there. Okay, so now we've got that panel off there, and it's actually, you might want to invest in one of these screwdrivers. It's got kind of that, if you can see it right here, it's got that kind of a bit at the end. You've got to use that to take these screws off towards the end there for the that far end of the panel as well, to take that off. So I'm gonna crawl in here, and hopefully the camera will show some good footage. And so what we've got going on here is we've got, you know, of course, the water accumulator tank. You can adjust your PSI at the top there. That's your air pressure. Your water lines come in and out of it. This unit is going to stabilize the water pump, so the water pump can kind of alternate pretty nicely when you're on it. And also it's going to soak up some of that extra water pressure too, when the water heater, you know, gets up to operating temperature, and there's nowhere for the water to go but for this thing to kind of absorb. And then let's see here, You've got the back of your panel, water panel. You've got your water pump right there. The little strainer to the left of it is a good thing to check and clean out maybe once a year, depending on how bad your water is. As you can see, I've upgraded a lot of these water lines to hard PEX, so that's gonna increase your likelihood of success with not having water leaks. Of course, you can still see some soft braided lines, throughout here. There's this one here, for instance. It looks like that goes down to your hot low point drain. So, when you have some time on your hands, I would go through and definitely upgrade any sort of soft PEX that you see under here is a good idea. Just for safety's sake. I just most recently replaced that hot water line that goes to the top of the water heater there. So you won't have to worry about doing that. And then you may want to get that wood board that divides this area into kind of a quick release setup, just so that you can keep an eye on things down here. It's a good idea to always be watchful of leaks and whatnot. I recently replaced the gasket under this shower drain, and as you can see the patch line that I installed there. I cleaned out that waterless trap, so that's all good to go, and there's no leaks that I see so far, so we're solid. And then just always look for any water that's on the floor down here, and then address any issues you may find. But right now we are looking good after many hours of yours truly working on it. We've got your furnace here, and I've done my best as far as taping with high temperature flue tape the connections and sides, and that'll hopefully help it be a little bit more efficient for you. And so you've got 4 lines total. You've got this one that runs to this connection that feeds your master bedroom bathroom, and also the plenum here, which is going to give you a little bit of heat. This one, as well as the master bedroom bathroom, I've closed off a lot of the flow just because I wanted to balance the system. So you can always take over on that and do any balancing. If you want more heat in the bedroom or whatever, you can take that tape off. Then you've got these lines here. One of them goes to the rear garage and one of them goes to the living room. That small one on top there is what is going to be heating your subfloor throughout the trailer to keep your tanks from freezing and whatnot. And then, of course, looking up through there, you're going to have, that's the back of your electrical panel. And then you've got your central vac line here that's going to connect to the vacuum when we put that board back in. And of course you've got, let's see what else back here to show you. You've got your transfer switch here. That's going to be if you ever install a generator. And so as you can see, I'll pull this panel off. Hard to do with one hand. Of course, that's live electricity, so don't touch any of this. So you're going to have, that's where your generator is going to feed into and connect to this. Of course, there's no generator, so it's not hooked up right now. And so you've got your power in and then power out and your grounds. So this transfer box here is what's going to allow your coach to automatically switch to your generator power when you have a generator installed, if you ever do someday. And of course there is your Victron charger. That's an upgraded charger that you're going to be able to access on your phone through Bluetooth, and I'll make a video on how that works and all that. And so that's going to feed the power to your custom lithium iron phosphate battery that I will also cover in the future for you too. And so that's about all that's going on back here. There's your outlet right here that the central vac plugs into when that wood board gets installed again. And yep, there you go.